What's up guys, Jeff Cavaliere, ATHLEAN-X.com. When you are looking to look bigger, you've got a couple options. The first one's easy. You change your wardrobe. Get rid of those larges and mediums and trade them for mediums and you're gonna look a lot bigger right away. However, you're not really creating actual growth. But if you want to do that, you actually can, and the place you should target is your traps. There's a reason for that. The androgen receptor density in your traps is larger than anywhere else in your body. So you're going to be able to stimulate growth there with directed, targeted training and the right technique. And that's where we're going to get to the kind of the crux of this video. Running out and just training your traps can actually make you look worse, because if you don't have wide shoulders to go with them, all you're going to do is create a steeper slope, a narrower looking body, and it's going to work against what you're actually trying to create. So you have a couple ways that you can change the current exercises you're doing, or you can do alternative exercise I'm going to show you here today, all right? So what are we going to do? You look at the dumbbell shrug, one of the most classic exercises that you can do. If you hold your dumbbells straight at your sides and you simply move them up and down, you're not really going to effectively hit the traps as well as you should, as I've covered in previous videos about the angles and how you can attack them better with cables. I'll actually link that video for you here. But we're still going to do that exercise. Then you want to make sure you're doing two things. Number one, you want to lean forward just a bit so the angle of pull for the traps is going to be more direct. Secondly, to prevent that sort of domination of the traps versus the shoulders, you want to try to get the shoulders involved a bit. So if you widen out your grip, get your arms a little bit away from your body and bend your elbows, as I'm showing you here, now you're going to be able to involve a lot more, you can see it working, a lot more delta activation here too, so that we're working on building them both up at the same time. So we're not going to have that sloping, steep looking, narrow neck and torso. We're going to have a wider look as we build up our traps. Okay, now we talked about the other exercise. So what you could do is, I'm heading into the squat rack. You don't necessarily have to do a barbell shrug, because you would apply the same technique as I showed you over there. You would widen out your grip, you'd bow out your arms a little bit, your elbows, and you'd apply the same technique. But what I'm going to show you is a version of a row. So now in this version of the row, now you want to get co-activation here of the traps and the rhomboids in the upper back, so that you can lift some heavy ass weight and get those traps to grow, because they're going to respond well to heavier weight. And of course, you're going to be able to activate them more because of the technique change. So now I squeeze with the traps almost right before, an instant before I initiate the row, and I hold it there, and now I start trying to crank out some reps here. We've done the same thing. Because the elbows naturally will bow out on a row, we're obviously going to get some of the delts involved on this as well, but we're going to get the rear delts and all those muscles in between the shoulder blades, like we talked about, that's going to bulk up and sort of add to the density of the exercise and the effect of this exercise. So start putting on some weight on this and start incorporating this as an additional move, and you will get rid of that problem of having that steep sloping neck. You'll have a more wide looking torso from the front, the back, wherever it is that you are going to be seen. So guys, I hope you guys find this video helpful. Remember, if you're going to attack a muscle, understand how you're attacking it, and also understand what the implications of your approach is going to be. Because just because someone told you to do something doesn't mean that that in isolation is going to be the perfect remedy for you. You have to understand what the implication of what you're going to do on that particular day and that particular move on the rest of your entire program. And that's why programs work so well. We have a program over at ATHLEAN-X.com. It's our ATHLEAN-X training system. If you're looking for a way to put the science back in strength and get results, knowing that one thing that you do relates to the other things you do, and it all comes together in the end to give you the one final result you're looking for, that's our ATHLEAN-X training system. In the meantime, guys, leave your comments and thumbs up. Let me know what you want to see here on this channel, and I'll do my best to cover it in a future video. All right, guys. Oh, by the way, new gear here, Punisher. That's a sign of things to come in 2017. Got a lot of punishment getting ready to hand it out to you guys in the form of a lot of new workouts. All right, guys, see you soon.